Hello, welcome back to another episode of the Console Gaffer, and we are here again with the Dagenham and Redbridge save in Skybet League 1. We have managed to get ourselves to the 21st of February 2029, and I'm going to give you an update of where we are currently, just before we get towards the end of the season, the nitty gritty of the season, to see what we can do if we have a chance of promotion or if we are going to be struggling down relegation in Skybet League 1. So, the season 4, the first episode that we covered the Walsall game, which we played really well in. We just didn't have the capacity to put the ball in the back of the net, and we lost by a goal to nil. We even missed a penalty in that game with Guilherme Santos missing it in stoppage time of the match, which is very disappointing for us. So, first game of the season, we lost by a goal to nil. Then, second game of the season, we were at home and we drew 0-0 to Wigan, which we were settled for a point at the start of the game, but again, we dominated possession. We had most shots, we were by far the better team, just couldn't score. And that, well, as you'll probably see, that's going to be a bit of a theme as we go through the season at times. So then we played and lost in the Carabao Cup first round. We lost on penalties after a 1-1 draw against Cambridge. Then we're back in league action against Barnsley, and we lost by 3-2. We were a goal up, then we went 2-1 up, but then we lost a collapse late on in the match to lose by 3-2, which gave us 1 point out of 9 in the first 3 league games. Then we played MK Dons at home and we got our first 3 points with a 4-2 victory. And again, we were 2-0 up and cruising, and then we conceded 2 goals in the space of 5 minutes. But we regained our composure, and Palace and Avramescu getting the goals late on. Again, back-to-back goals in the space of a minute to give us that 4-2 victory and our first 3 points in Skybet League 1. But we could not follow that up in the next game week against Bolton, where we lost by 3-2. Again, being up in the lead twice, but just couldn't see it over the line and losing by 3-2. Not the best of starts for us, with 1 win in the league. Then it was Cambridge again, this time in the Virtue Trophy Southern Section Group E, which was again a 1-1 draw, but we won on penalties. So good confidence for the boys there. Then we played Plymouth away from home in another disappointing 1-0 win. We were languishing at the bottom of the table at this point, round the bottom of the table, and really struggling for any real type of form. But the next away game, we managed to get a win. Balsh and Kibzas with the goals to give us a 2-0 win, and quite a happy clean sheet as well, something that we've not had much of in the early part of the season. Then we played Spurs reserves in the Cup and we lost by 3-1 at home. Not to be really that surprised, because Richarlison, Archie Gray and Byfield with the goals after Kibzas got us back into the game at 2-1. But nobody was really interested. As you can see, there's only 584 people at the ground. But then it was back-to-back league defeats away from home to Mansfield, 2-1. We were never really in the game, but we got a late goal, consolation goal, 93rd minute, and same against Newport. It was like we were 2-0 down and we basically scored straight away with Cameron Wilson, but then we conceded again at home to lose by 3-1. Then we got a win against Lincoln, but as you can see, too much red in there. 1 win out of 9 games in October was not really good enough for us, but you take the wins when you can. It took us a wee bit of time to get acclimatised, I would say, to Skybet League 1, and in October it really set in. And the pressure was on, but we got the win against Lincoln, played well enough, and we got the victory. But we couldn't follow it up with another home game as Portsmouth came to town and they just swept us aside by 2-0. But we steadied the ship a wee bit by getting 2 away performances and 2 away draws. A 0-0 against Preston, followed by a 1-1 against Colchester United. And then we played Harrogate in the FA Cup, which again I'm disappointed because I want to try and get a wee cup run, something we've not really had so far. It's something I was really hoping we could get at some point in this save, but currently we can't, as we were out at the FA Cup first round against Harrogate, 5-3 in extra time. As you can see there again, we were cruising, we were 3-0 up, and we just collapsed, completely collapsed in the game. But November, slowly but surely, we started to see a wee bit more. You can see in the fixture card there, a wee bit more green shoots of recovery. 0-0 with Blackpool at home, followed by a nice 2-1 victory at home to Rotherham. Avramescu and Palaos with the goals to give us a 2-1 victory. And then the Virtue Trophy Southern section, we lost on penalties after a 0-0 draw. But back to league action, a 1-0 defeat to Millwall. It was a sickener in the 93rd minute, but we didn't play well. You can see the average ratings. We just did not play well at all in the game. But the latter part of November seen us win 3 out of the 4 matches that remained in November. We beat Chesterfield by 4-1. We then played Exeter at home and won by 3-2. Then we went away to a tough game against Wycombe and we won by 2-1. Then Sheffield United came to town and we managed. Well, it was them that scored late on, but you can see slowly we brought Gatlin O'Donkor came back in after his injuries, and you can see his rating was improving. You can see the squad in general starting to just get a little bit better. But 1-1 draw would take a lot of confidence for the Sheffield United game. Then December came again, and again we went through, as you can see there, December we were undefeated in December completely, and so that was really undefeated in 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 games. We went undefeated after our last defeat against Millwall. But the Burton game, we won 3-0 at home. O'Donkor with 2 and Avramescu getting the goal to make it 3-0. Exeter we drew 1-1 away from home. Gatlin O'Donkor came in and scoring the goal in the 33rd minute to give us the lead, but again we just couldn't see it through. Then we won 1-0 against Newport away from home. Gianfranco Kebzas with the goal. And then it was a 0-0 draw at Reading, which I'm again quite happy with. We dug it out, played pretty well. And then back at home against Chesterfield, which was a solid 3-1 victory. Double from O'Donkor and Oliveira with the goal. Then we followed that up with a nice 2-0 victory away to Lincoln. Palace penalty and a Rashawn Scott goal in the 92nd minute to see us through to give us that victory. And then we played Mansfield. It was a topsy-turvy game, but we done it. We managed to get the victory, and that man Gatlin O'Donkor with a hat-trick after going 2-0 down. We came back to win by 3-2 at home in front of 4,286 fans at the Victoria Road Stadium. And then we carried that great form into January, where this time we beat Portsmouth by 2-1 away from home. Very tough game, but we fell behind, but we dug it out again. And as you can see, it's like it took us a wee while to get used to this level. some of the players. Guilherme Santos bossing games, Gabe Zass doing the business, Oliveira coming in after his injury, and defensively just looking a wee bit more solid in there. But again, then we beat Preston by 2-0 as well at home. Palace and Cameron Wilson with the goals. And then it was a 2-1 win away from home against Bolton. Avramescu and Gatlin O'Donker scoring. It's great when you've got a striker up top who will score you goals at this level, as we struggled at the early part of the season. Then we played Plymouth, and it was a nice 4-2 victory against Plymouth. Done the business. We were 3 goals to 1 up, and then 3 goals to 2. You just think, oh, is it going to happen again? But Logan Briggs came up in the 87th minute to see us through. And it was nearly a perfect January. But then Oxford United came to town, and it was a 1-1 draw with Oxford United. And then Saturday the 10th of February, away from home again against Bradford. The start of February, it was a 0-0 draw. And you can see our backline was really, really good. Max Thompson, goalkeeper, who's been out injured for most of the season with a broken arm, come back in, delivers a man of the match performance and a clean sheet. So that is where we are, and coming to the 10th of February 2029. We've got 3 games left in this month: home to Colchester, away to Blackpool, and away to Rotherham. But you'll want to see where we are in Skybet League 1 after this performance, which we are now undefeated as it stands at the moment in 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17 games we are undefeated in, which is a phenomenal achievement after the start that we had in the season. We couldn't buy a win, especially in October, but then since November we've just slowly but surely tried to turn it over a wee bit, and we've dug in, and we've dug in well. So that takes us to where we are in the league, and as you can see, we are flying reasonably high in 4th position, currently in the playoff spots. A point clear of Sheffield Wednesday, 2 clear of Bradford, and 3 clear of Portsmouth, who are just outside. But more importantly, we're 3 points off Barnsley, and we're just 9 points off Millwall. But we've got a game, so we've got a big game coming up next, and if we can win that, well, we're even closer to Millwall in the automatic spots. And Oxford United is up there as well on 68. So we're 10 points behind Oxford United. Is it too much to ask that we can drag ourselves in to the top of the table? Yes, because I can see us dropping points, some more points. I don't think we're going to win every single game that we play. So just to be sitting in 4th at the moment is excellent, and we'll take that. But there's a lot of football still to be played for the Daggers. So in terms of recruitment, we have signed in January a couple of players. We signed Mariano Santiago, a free transfer, another attacking midfield player that we needed. We were having a few injuries, and you can see 27-year-old Argentinian. He's not on a lot of big wage, but you can see he's helped us in the last month or so as well, coming in. Very good player, good technique, good passing, good first touch. Solid acquisition for this level. We then brought in Rory Wilson. We had him before, but striker wise we've brought him back just because of his physicals, and he was free. He scored 1 goal and an assist in 3 games so far for us. So we're happy that we've managed to bring him back in, and he's got a lot of pace and a good bit to offer, I feel, for the second half of the season. We then managed to sign Sahil Bashir for 650,000. The owner squeezed a wee bit more money for us to give us a wee bit more transfer money, and I feel Sahil Bashir, who we had on loan a few seasons back when we were in the Enterprise South, was excellent for us, and I think he'll be excellent for us again. Good technique, good long shots, first touch is good, and dribbling is good for where we want it to be. Strength is poor, but physicals are pretty good, and mentals where we need to be is good as well for this level. So we also signed Nicholas Hildebrandt on loan from Hertha Berlin. Big striker. Now, we've not really had a chance to play him too much because it was the end of January. I think he'll get some game time soon, but 20 years old. If anybody else is looking for a striker for your age, for your save, potentially to develop, I think big Nicholas Hildebrandt is somebody who really could be a good player in the future. His technique is 11. His passing could be worked on, but his heading's 12. His first touch is 11. His finishing's 14 for a 20-year-old, and his dribbling is at 12. He's got good aggression, good anticipation. His bravery's pretty decent. Good composure at 13 for a 20-year-old, which I imagine would go up. Decision making at 11, good determination. Not bad flair. Off the ball's good, and work rate's good. Positioning, probably he needs to improve on so he can get into the right areas at the right times. But his physicals is really impressive. Acceleration for a big man, 6'4" is 12. Agility is 11. Balance is 15. Very good jump and reach at 17. Get the ball in the box, and I'm sure he will score. Natural fitness is 15. His pace is good at 14. Stamina and strength is also very good. So Nicholas Hildebrandt, he's at Hertha Berlin, and he's there at the start of the career at save as well. 25-26, he's there, and as you can see at that level, Hertha in the Bundesliga 2, 20 goals in 34 games. So absolutely brilliant. So after that, we just brought in on loan Ezra Meyers from West Ham United as well, but the centre half is injured and he's back in 4 days time. So again, we've not actually played him because he came in first training session injured. Now, he's a central defender by trade, but he can also play left back. But the reason I brought him in, he's got the potential to really go quite far, but his physicals are pretty poor. Pace is okay, acceleration isn't, but his mentals are good, and his technicals, I feel, are very, very good for this level. And if we're going to keep the ball, that's what we're going to need, somebody like him, so he can come in and do the business for us. So we got him from West Ham United. He's already worth £0.2 million straight away. So that is us. And the only person that went out on loan was the regen Justin Lee, central midfielder, needing a bit of game time, so we've put him out on loan. So that gives us the squad. Max Thompson in there, McKenty, we've got captain Caden Harrick, Misrad Ali, who we signed at the start of the season. We're kind of playing him at left centre back at the moment due to some injuries, and he's got the attributes to play there with the pace, and the strength is getting up because he's playing there. So we're playing him there at the moment. Denner's having a no bad season again. 5 assists from left back. £2.6 million he's worth. Misrad Ali though has got a lot of potential. £1.4 million he is worth. Guilherme Santos, 2 goals, 4 assists so far this season. Been good, but could probably do a wee bit better. Gianfranco Cabezas, 7 goals from midfield. Very good addition to the team, and again, another one. Take his name down. I think at this level, if you can get this player in, again, another good addition for this level of football. Whether he can go up the divisions, we'll find out if we can get to the Championship. But he likes to get the ball forward whenever possible with his traits, and likes to switch the ball to wide areas. Mariano Santiago, so we've just signed him. And again, decent enough physicals and mentals. Free transfer again, Argentinian. At this level, probably do the business for us. Enis Avramescu has done pretty well. 8 goals and 4 assists. We've mainly played him on the right wing this season. 6'2", decent enough pace. He's done pretty well. He's got 12 goal contributions in 29 appearances, so quite happy with that in the league. Sahil Bashir, who's just signed for us, he'll play his first game coming soon. And then we've got Gatlin O'Donkor, who was out for most of the season. He didn't play much at all. He had an injury and couldn't get back in, but we played him one game and he's not looked back since. He really has not looked back since. He's got a goal, 11 goals in 12 starts and 4 assists. 15 goal contributions in 12 games since he's come back in has been excellent for the big man. And you can see strength is good, pace is good, fitness is good. Obviously his composure and finishing is not great, but he's doing the business at the moment. But long term, he's probably not the answer. But he's doing well at the moment. So yeah, apart from that, that's kind of where we are at the moment. We have had some injuries. Logan Briggs has been out for a while. El Arcuri has been out for a while. As I said about Ezra Myers, he's been out for a while. Andre Oliveira, we signed him again. Freedom of contract from Porto B. In fact, sorry, it wasn't a freedom of contract. It was 110k we managed to squeeze him in for. Very good player, very talented defensive midfielder, stroke central midfielder. And he's played really well for us this season. A good average rating of 704. But he's been injured at the start of the season. And he's been injured just now again. He has an injury, which, well, he's coming back in 2 days' time, which is fair enough, but he has been out for a good part of the season as well. So yeah, that takes us where we want to be at the moment. Is in February, we're well and truly in the mix of the Skybet League One. Our next game is at home to 21st place Colchester United, and hopefully we can get the victory, keep progressing and close that gap on the top two. We've got a chance to close the gap to the top two if we can beat Colchester. So yeah, that's what we hope we can do. So that'll do us for this quick update. Like I said, I'm going to try and bash through this season. I just thought before we get to the nitty gritty side of things, I'd give a wee update. January transfer window, and that's us just played our first game in February. Now 0-0 draw, and we've got Colchester and then 2 tough away games to come. So I'll probably come back just before the end of the season after this and give another run down and update and see if we've managed to continue in the playoff zone. Drop out, which I really hope that we would not drop out of the playoff zone now, but it is still quite tight in there. There's Blackpool's there, so really, so we're on 58, so Blackpool's on 50. I would really hope I would not drop 8 points to Blackpool. We dropped down to 10th, but you never know. It is still very tight in there, and we've still got to play a good number of games. We've got Colchester next, who's down there, and we drew 1-1 with them when we played them at home the last time, so it's not going to be an easy game just because at the bottom of the table. We need to earn it. But yeah, we're doing fine for the first season in League One. Long may that continue. So we will see in the next episode where hopefully the Daggers are on the march to the Championship. So thanks again, and we'll see you soon.